Hello, this is Mike Starr with the Journey into Peace, creating your Heaven on Earth program. We're now on day 9 of the program, nearing the end, and today's focus will be on your vision and your legacy. As I usually do, I often talk about some terms, and one term I'd like to touch upon is the term of meditation. Meditation being a means of being calm, being quiet, creating a calmness in our minds and our body, a focus perhaps on something very, very simple, such as breathing, or a scene that is very, very pleasant to us, or concepts such as compassion. Central to the journey into peace is meditation. A daily meditation, hopefully several times a day, where we find a quiet place, we find a calm place, and create quiet and calm within our hearts, within our minds, to settle us down and to counter the hectic lives that often occur around us, and sometimes we live ourselves. For what is peace but to be calm and not to be in conflict? A book I recommend, as simple as this may seem, and I've read a few of them on meditation, and one of the best ones is this one, Meditation for Dummies, by Stephen Bodian, Meditation for Dummies. An easy read. I feel it really demystifies meditation. Often we think of meditation as some esoteric, very difficult concept or practice or activity, but I think Stephen in this Meditation for Dummies makes it very simple, makes it very easy to understand, and to look at all the different levels of meditation that are available to us. So easy read, great read for those of you who are serious students of meditation or wish to become students of meditation. I very much recommend this book. One other term I did want to touch upon is the basic term of this whole program is peace. What is peace? Well, I can only speak for myself, obviously, and peace is, on the larger scale, a macro scale, is a absence of conflict. Perhaps on a more micro scale, a personal scale, it's calmness. It's an atmosphere conducive to harmony and understanding and respect and appreciation for diversity that we all bring to this planet, we bring to our communities, our businesses, and our families. Peace is appreciation of simple things, and it's a way of feeling safe. Safe to stop and smell the roses. Safe to stop and acknowledge others and show our gratitude, and not be on that path of perhaps like the fugitive, always on the run, trying to avoid conflict, but actually seeking abundance and encouraging and nurturing abundance with others. As I said today, I wanted to talk a bit more about our vision and our legacy. And in this program, in these last few sessions, I will do my best to present what I would call a simple elegance about the program, a simple elegance about a perspective, mine perspective of creating your heaven on earth, which once again is not a place, but a process, a being, a way of seeing, a way of noticing. It's a journey. It's a journey along a path. I spoke yesterday about a canoe trip that I took a long time ago from Pittsburgh to New Orleans, in fact in 1972, for 1,800 miles with a friend of mine. And for these 40 some odd years since then, I don't think of New Orleans. Actually, it's not exactly my cup of tea for a town. A lot of good things about New Orleans, so no offense to those of you from that part of the world. But what I remember most is the journey. The paddling, the eating sardines, the laughing, some of the conflicts, the people we met along the way on the barge, on on the speedboat, the fishermen, the camping, the going to the bar at night and watching ourselves on TV as the video crews often met us at towns that we arrived at, thanks to my roommate who was a consummate PR fellow. The news clippings of the journey, the stay in Natchez, and just the most gentlemanly newspaper reporter that showed us the town and the model of the Mississippi River and how he spoke so reverently of President Davis from the Confederacy. So many memories of people and places and the beauty of this country and the generosity of the people in the United States and the wonders of that trip. So it was the journey that really is my memory, and the destination only was a means to create the journey. And with your journey into peace, it has no final conclusion, only an ever-growing peace and harmony and joy and a decrease in suffering and pain, a concept that I have coined and talked about numerous times in this program is Morless. May your vision, may your legacy be Morless. To become a person who seeks out, in simple, tiny efforts of progress, ever more joy, ever more happiness, ever more harmony with the people around you, and decrease the suffering and the pain and animosity and conflict. Seeking out peace, being an example for others, and eventually promoting it. Promoting it, teaching it, nurturing it in your children, with your spouses, with your neighbors, with your co-workers, with your community, with the people that you come in touch with. That's my dream for you. That's my vision for you, is that you are on a path of more or less. Ever more good, ever less bad, measuring it with Duran-free, the duration, intensity, and frequency of those occurrences, and be an example for others of how peace can grow within you. So my friends, what is your legacy? What is your vision? This is mine. In our path down the journey into peace, on one side we have what we think. On the other side we have our actions. Behind us we have all that has occurred to this date, that had to occur, must have occurred, exactly as it had to bring us to where we are today. But ahead of us is possibility, opportunities for ever greater hope, contribution, happiness, nurturing, joy, calm, peace, great sense of clarity and conviction with where we are and where we're going. That is the journey into peace. And with what we think, we had talked about, the platinum rule is that people wish to be treated just the way they want to be treated, so we can think about people perhaps in a little different way than the golden rule. In our actions, we talk about our meditations daily. We talk about discussing and talking and speaking our mantras to ourselves and others. We talk about tackling our elephants in the room a little bite at a time, as progressing a positive improvement area, whether it's our physical fitness or nutrition or a relationship or financials or work advancement or some projects around the house. Whatever that may be, I suggest you progress them perhaps one at a time and not try to take on too many things. And then with our thinking, as we think, we act. And sometimes as we act, we think. It's almost a chicken or an egg thing. To act differently, we think differently. We talked about the changing our inputs to change our outputs, the things we read, the places we go, the things we look at, the music we listen to, the conversations we engaged in. We talk a lot, and I've talked a lot about compassion and how critical it is to understand and have empathy and show and display and communicate caring to others, caring for their situation. Not always will they acknowledge it, but we will acknowledge them. We will show how much we care. We will show how much we love them. In those cases where Sometimes interactions are painful for us or difficult with people we discussed with our actions, to set boundaries with consequences. Your behavior caused me to feel this way, and I must, in turn, act in this manner to protect myself. It doesn't mean I don't care for you. We discuss ways of loving, ways of listening, care listening, acknowledging, letting people know how much we care and are interested in their situation, and also reflecting back their gifts, being the mirrors for the goodness within them, to bring out the very best within them and from them. So in your journey into peace, with your thinking on one side of the path, your actions on the other side of the path, your history behind you and your vision for what can be, and the possibilities, I ask you to continue in small, simple, tiny efforts of progress. Be undeterred by the setbacks. Celebrate your successes. Learn from your setbacks. Be joyous for what is. And for those of us who are fighting the inevitable, fighting what is, let us learn to surrender to those things, accept them, embrace them, not necessarily agree with them, so that we can move on. So we are bulletproof and are undeterred by the things that are out of our control, or the barbs that may come at us that are undeserved. So, what is your legacy? What is your vision of what could be? We talk much about our beliefs, what we believe in, what's important. I was asked about my beliefs. Well, one of my beliefs is in the goodness of humanity and making the best of it, taking what is and doing the best I can with it, and seeing in others the goodness about them. As Helen Keller said, as we look to the sunshine, we don't see the shadows. So let us look for the good in others, the good in ourselves. Let us have compassion for their situation, set boundaries with consequences where we can. But very simply, let us move forward with our empowering mantras, looking for continuing Morless, achieving more good, more happiness, less sadness, less suffering, making those simple, tiny efforts of progress to make that happen. So I wish you well in your journeys. I wish you well in your progress. Be fishermen and fisherwomen of peace and joy and harmony. Throw those lines in the water, throw those nets in the water, try things, see what works, what doesn't work. Go to a different fishing ground, but keep on fishing, my friends. Keep on fishing. There are many fish out there, and celebrate the small ones that you catch. Those are good enough. And in turn, I ask you, teach others, nurture others, promote others to be fishermen and fisherwomen of peace. Sat Nam, my friends.